Hi Scorpio, welcome to your end of June 2021 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. Okay, let us see what is going on. I'm laughing because of what I'm thinking of Pluto, and it's one of your rulers in the Judgment card. Okay. Interesting. So I got two major arcanas in this reading, and it's interesting because the first and the last cards were both major arcana cards, which means major arcana are major events or happenings. The minor arcana can be like the day-to-day stuff. And so if these are periodic readings, I do these regularly, and it's not meant to encompass a big amount of time, maybe a couple of weeks or so. But sometimes a lot of change or growth can happen in a short period of time, as you know. And then sometimes you can go months and it seems like you're just it's like the same old, same old. So it's really interesting how life works. So, when I see that the first and last cards are major arcana, I often think of that it's emphasizing that this is an important time, the end of June for you, for whatever reason. The heart of the matter is the Judgment card, and this is a card of like a person's just desserts, or this is something that Scorpio can understand. That's why I was kind of laughing, because this card is associated with Pluto and it's cause and effect, or chickens coming home to roost, and sowing, reaping what you sow. I always say that backwards. But not just you reaping what you sow, but somebody else reaping what they sow. So if there's something where you have felt that you were treated unfairly, then perhaps things will be settled in your favor, including a legal judgment, if that's what you're waiting for. And the other thing, too, is that your personal judgment can be something that you are thinking about, that you are focusing on. The Mercury retrograde that we just had, and I'm saying it in the past tense, even though as I record this, there's no, today is it, thank God. Oh, good, it's going to be over with tonight. But it'll still be in its shadow period through, I think, the rest of June. It doesn't matter, though. To me, as soon as it goes direct, I feel better already. This particular one, for me, I don't know about you, but this has retrograded through your 8th house, which is the house that you rule in astrology. So, the what that can mean is that these issues of, that we're talking about here, the karmic blowback, instant karma. I think of more like instant karma. I don't know if the 8th house would be more like instant karma. 12th house is karma, but the 8th house could probably be instant karma, or karma that you're accumulating in this lifetime, that even if it's not literally instant, but that you see the results of, maybe. And so that could be anything. That could be things that you've done that you now see were not right, and maybe you're willing to accept the results of your actions, and in some cases, even, you might be like, yeah, I was wrong. I actually believe that Scorpios are like that. And that's what I like about Scorpios is that I feel like a lot of them know exactly what they're doing. And they're just like, if they don't care, they'll be unapologetic. But if they think that they did the wrong thing, they will fess up to it and probably do better in the future. This is also a card of rebirth. Okay, so that's another thing, another theme. And that could be like, for instance, if you are awaiting the judgment or you get the judgment of a divorce and you are feeling liberated, that's a form of rebirth. In the past position, we have the Three of Cups. You may have enlisted friends to help you through a certain time, and maybe if this is like a personal relationship issue, that has been very helpful to kind of bolster your resolve about something. So if you were isolating yourself or you were in a relationship with somebody where they were being very controlling, and there's always that that kind of image of Scorpios being the obsessive lover type of person. While that can be true in some cases, you can also be the victim of that. And it's kind of a weird masochistic streak. I don't know exactly why. But to me, Scorpio is one of those signs like Pisces where the person may have gone through a lot of trauma. The house that you roll in astrology, the eighth house, is connected to trauma. So that's not really that hard to understand, I guess. But I think of Scorpio as a very strong sign. So even when you do go through that, it's not like you're fragile necessarily, but you still may have, maybe in one area, you're very emotionally dependent, like in personal relationships or something, or one-on-one romantic relationships. Perhaps with your friends, you're more stoic, So yeah, so it's kind of it's a very social card. It's a lighthearted card. You may have decided to lighten up, and again, celebrating something. That's what this card is really about, celebrating. So maybe it's like, hey, I'm celebrating my liberation. I'm celebrating winning the lawsuit, or maybe I've never thought about this, but if you're like passing the bar exams and becoming a lawyer, I guess maybe something like that. I don't know. The higher message, the Three of Wands in reverse. We'll just hold it up. This is a card of, you can maybe see the mountains in the background, of greener pastures, wider, just a sense of expansion. And because it's in the reversed position, there may be this, what might be holding you back from full embracing of things that are connected to your own personal expansion, maybe like even traveling or promoting yourself somewhere far away. If you're an entrepreneur, for instance, is a narrow kind of a focus. And this is, I think part of this is because Scorpio is a fixed sign, so it tends to favor familiarity over new experiences. And the three of Wands is about, like I said, wider pastures. I don't, there's like this idea that we, growth is like the meaning of life. Abraham Hicks talks about expansion, and that's kind of what the Three of Wands is all about. Expansion. And when people are resistant to that, and they just want to stay in their own safe space, they can stagnate, and but I I do believe that everybody has to do things at their own pace. So if you have gone through a major life change already, like ending a relationship, a marriage or the equivalent as an example, um, don't feel that you have to change everything about your life. You don't have to do that. And you should honor your pay, what you feel is right. But always looking to the next goal and thing that you want, instead of kind of clinging to the past or wanting to do something over again, repeat something that you found pleasurable in the past. I mean, of course, there's nothing wrong with that, but some people, they totally reject things that are unknown to them because they have certain creature comforts or whatever you want to call them. And that's what I'm talking about, because that's what can keep people playing small in life. And the Three of Wands is about embracing growth, embracing expansion. And that's the spiritual position. So it's really, to me, it starts with the spiritual, and then it kind of filters down into your day-to-day life as well. What crosses you is the King of Cups, and this can be, in some cases, if you feel that your life is going through a lot of change and you're having a hard time coping with it, this could be like a counselor, but you may feel like, that's a sign of weakness. And when I say a counselor, it can also be a spiritual counselor, a pastor or a spiritual teacher, somebody that, a meditation teacher, even a healer, somebody who can help you to see life from a new perspective that involves the spiritual. But of course, that'll never happen if you feel like there's something wrong with it, that you should be able to do it all by yourself. Also, there may be someone in your life, perhaps this is the person that you've tried to get away from or you have gotten away from, who is a water sign male, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, who is an alcoholic or other addict, narcissist, manipulative, a master manipulator. And this person may have power over you. I mean, they don't really, but you give them that power for some reason. And it creates a situation where you feel like you're trying to get away, but they always are right there. So even if you're not with that person, you might be still thinking about them and wondering what they're doing, and that just leads you to have that energetic connection that you're trying to break. So, recognizing that this person is not, doesn't have your best interests at heart is important. This could be a father or a father figure as well. What's coming in is the Nine of Cups. This is the wish fulfillment card. This can indicate that you are feeling very satisfied with how your life is progressing. So, that's probably why the Three of Cups is there as well. There's it's almost like an emotional weight has been taken off of you for some reason. And I don't know if this is work related or, like professionally, or if this is in your personal life. It really doesn't matter. But what does matter is that you are, this is a card they talk about being smug, feeling like, hey, look at me now. And Scorpio, if you have felt that somebody did you wrong, because that's what I was saying at the beginning. If you felt like someone did you wrong and now they're having to answer for what they've done, let's say it's in the workplace, and you get this new job with a different company and it's, way better than what you had, you could feel like, rubbing it in certain people's faces to kind of like show them that they shouldn't have messed with you. That vengeful quality sometimes creeps into Scorpio. And I always wonder if, because you're right by Libra, if a Scorpio person has inner planets in Libra, they may feel like really justified, like, hey, I'm balancing the scales. I'm, what they did was wrong. And I'm talking about if somebody like did try to screw you over, let's say in the workplace, and then they had to pay the price for that. It can be, irresistible for a Scorpio to gloat, and to even publicize their good fortune, when in fact you should be very humble, thankful, grateful, and, not to use that as a weapon against somebody, because people getting the, instant karma is good enough. I mean, when I say good enough, it's enough of a lesson for them. I always want people to learn why they did was wrong. I don't want people to suffer needlessly. I just want them to acknowledge that whatever they did was wrong. And so if you can adopt that kind of a mindset where you're not just, at that low level of an eye for an eye, but you really, want people to evolve, then you are rising above, their ignorant behavior, and you're looking like the bigger person in that case. The outcome is the Strength card. They have that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And the thing is, I realize now when the Strength card appears, is that it can show that there has been a period of turmoil in the person's life, that they have gone through the fire. And actually, that's what the Judgment card is. You can see, I notice, I don't know if this is why they drew it like that, but there's like fire, and that's like the horn of judgment, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, something like that. And, baptism by fire, and fire and rain. You've seen fire and rain. And the bottom line is that even if that's the case, it can show you what you're made out of. And it can actually boost your self-esteem, believe it or not. Because when you know that you have weathered a storm, you know that you have what it takes to be resilient. Some people are not resilient, and they may look like they're very strong on the outside, but they fold like a deck of cards as soon as anything stressful comes into their life. And some people, because they have a background and experiencing very intense moments, they have a built-in skill in dealing with that. And You know, it can go back to childhood. And so embrace that and know that that you have what it takes. This card is also associated with Leo, so we're going into Leo season in late July, but actually Venus goes into Leo in late June. And so Leo for you is your 10th house of career. So with Venus in the 10th, that can certainly give you a certain you can make favorable impressions with people in positions of power. And maybe that's what the Nine of Cups is all about. So anyway, Scorpio, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a private reading, I do a lot of astrology readings. I do the tarot too, sometimes combinations. You can check my online store at the link below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.